No, I just cannot believe that it's 2016 already. I'm not going to go into the details of, oh my God, back in my day, and time goes by so fast, but man, it really does. When I was younger, I was totally aware that this was going to happen, that time would fly as I got older, and I knew that. So I was prepared for it, perspective wise. I had several people tell me when I was growing up, oh, just wait till you get older, you'll see how fast time goes. And so, we all hear that growing up from our parents. And even though we know it and we're told this, it doesn't really do much to help us understand how it's really going to feel to get older quicker. So only experience can bring us to understand this. No amount of people telling you time flies is going to help to understand that. So the strange thing I guess I was realizing was that when you're young, the first part of your life is forgotten. You generally, most people, forget the first, say, 5 years of their life, or at least most of it. You'll get glimpses of it, but it's not until you're, 7, 8 that you really start to develop heavy, strong, fluid, long-term memories. I know there's exceptions. There are people that can remember everything, and some people that can't remember anything. So, but generally, people start to remember from the time of 7, 8 on, maybe 10 on, depending on the person. For me, I don't remember a whole lot until like 12 on. And I know that a lot of times when people have a trauma in their life when they're growing up, a parent dies or, something happens that's extreme, you can forget a lot. Well, my father died when I was 15 from cancer, but it's my belief that that's partly to blame for the way I blacked out, or at least blanked out the life before that. I haven't, I guess, realized it until recently. Maybe I'm not realizing it until just now, speaking it, which is probably another therapeutic reason why I do these videos. But when he passed away when I was about 15, I can see how my mind would want to black out my life up until that point, because I don't remember a whole lot of being a young teenager. I remember going to a couple, roller skating in 7th grade with some girl, and going and riding bikes with my friend a couple times, when I met him in 7th and 8th grade. But, I kind of envy people who have those strong memories of youth. But as I get older, I find myself blacking out more and more. Not blacking out, blanking out purposely, like time in my life, to make room for new memories and new ideas. So, on one hand, I want to hang on to all these old things that have happened. So this is why I do things like take my journal. And I guess that journal's 15 years old now. So I've just taken notes here and there, but I also have another book that I got in my stocking when I was a kid, I think in 1987 or something. So it's about 30 years old now, and I've been writing in it every year since then. And I just write once every year. It's not that I purposefully pull it out each year. It's just that when I see the book, I flip it open and say, I haven't wrote in here in a while, and sometimes it's up to 3 years or longer. But by documenting that part of my life, I'm able to remember at least what I did that day, and that day can bring back an entire flood of memories. When I was going through some old photos a while back, I noticed some pictures of myself in California when I was visiting younger, and looking at what I was dressed in, the clothes I was wearing this, I think it's some sort of a heavy metal shirt. I think it was maybe Overkill or Guns N' Roses. Then I had all these beads on, that I made, these hand beads, and these little John Lennon sunglasses and a headband, and this earring, because hey, in the 80s you could get away with, guys could wear a dangly earring, and I had a few. And when's the last time you saw a guy with a dangly earring? It's hilarious. But no offense if you wear one. It's just something that brings back memories. When I see the pictures of myself like that, I can see the clothes I was wearing and remember like where I maybe got a shirt, or oh yeah, I remember making that necklace, or being at that place, and it brings back a flood of other memories. And I think people sometimes just don't want to see that history because it brings back some painful memories. But for me, I had a great youth. I didn't have anything bad happen. My parents got divorced when I was 12. Whoop-de-doo. Everybody gets divorced, it seems like. Yeah, sure, maybe it affected us. And then my dad died a few years later, and I can see how I blocked things out because of that. But as I grow now, I'm just so grateful to know what I've learned so far. Without it, I don't know if I would be able to understand myself at all, or even understand the world I live in. I'd be likely to just traipse along at a half speed and do what I can, but without my thoughts and my memories, I'm nothing. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here. Without our thoughts, our memories, and our lives, and growth, then if we're not progressing, we're stagnating. So as we're moving forward and we're learning new things, we tend to black more of the past out to make room for new ideas. And I think this is partly to blame for, well, there's two reasons. A, that I'm very interested in a lot of different things, and with that, yes, the brain only has a certain capacity to retain knowledge, and if something's not that important to you, you tend to just let it go. Now, the way the mind works is the memories are always there. They can always be conjured. We're not quite sure how they're filed or how the system works, but they do seem to be fired away in long-term memory, which is like, it's just like a shift over here. It's kind of what deja vu is, they believe, is that a memory goes directly into long-term memory before going into short-term memory. So you think you've done it before. And I've been really studying that as much as possible whenever I think about it, because it's just an interesting concept that you can remember something you never did merely because of the way your mind interprets it. Well, in that same way, you might think you actually did something that you never did. Something gets filed away, and you're like, oh, I could have sworn that I went to this place, but you never actually visited. Maybe somebody told you the story, and in your mind you created a picture of being there, and you're like, wait, I didn't go there, or I wasn't at that event. And anyway, life is fleeting. Memories are fleeting, and I think we can't be so attached to the past about and be obsessed about remembering the past, because people may become attached to the past and they may become attached to the future, but being immersed in the moment is a complex issue, because you have to use your past to live in the present to work towards the future, so they say. And so if you don't know your past, you can't really know your future. But then again, if you don't know where you're going, you can't know what to learn from in your past to get there. And alas, we live these short lives as humans. Anyway, hope y'all are having a great day. I'm still just waking up. The first words I've said of the day, so now I'm inspired and I'll be ready to tackle whatever comes my way. And in a couple of years, I'll probably forget about it. Actually, it's funny because that's where YouTube comes in, you know? I can now look back 3 years or so and see what I was thinking any one given day. And I find that fascinating because, you know, hopefully YouTube endures. There was a period of time where I went back through my old hard drive and I was keeping all the videos I did for my channel. And then I just went through and deleted like hundreds of them. I was like, why am I keeping these? They're taking up, 500 gigabytes of space on this hard drive, and what's the point? So, like, I'm going to ever go back and watch my own videos or re-upload them? No. They're just momentary thoughts. They're not like structured videos where I plan something out or educational. It's just spur-of-the-moment shit, and I can put it out there on the web and talk with you all about it. And it's pretty cool. So, I bid y'all adieu, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a good day. Maybe.